Yeah, this is CopBlock Radio, and we're live this Wednesday, March 4th, 2015. You know, this is a very special day, not only because we have some very special people in studio, but because this is the one day a year where the date is actually a command. March 4th.
March 4th. Oh, my goodness. That's good. I was like, what is he talking about? What is he talking about?
I am Derek J.
And Dio.
And Ademo.
And we are all in Peace News Studios in Keene in the Shire.
Beautiful Keene Shire.
The Liberty Media capital of the world! And it's really good to have you guys in studio for this very special episode.
Great to be here.
Great to be able to touch you guys.
It's been a long journey.
So good. And awkward.
We're touching each other right through the screens as we typically do, but now we're right here.
Is this a good time to talk about CopBlock's next fundraiser? For $4.99, they can watch us touch Dio.
Yeah, that's the latest. In
jokes. I don't want any
fundraising.
emails. It's a joke.
It's true. So you can call in and give us shit at CopBlockRadio on Skype or dial 413-418-COPS. That's 2677. But we want to first start off with something very important that happened this week. A man was shot point blank. It appears he was shot point blank by an officer of the law, one of those law enforcers who must have been following every.
Yeah, it seems pretty obvious. There was a cop that shot him.
He reached for my gun.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So I guess, sorry to cut you off there, Derek, but yeah, what you're essentially saying or describing is the case from LA where the homeless person was harassed by like a mob of cops, like 5 or 6. Like there was like I think 7 on scene, like, and 2 of them were messing with another individual while some of them were trying to handcuff or detain another. And in that course of the process, you hear a number of things being said. I can't exactly tell if they're coming from that group of cops, one's whatever, but let's just assume that like, oh, he's going for my gun. You'll get away from my gun. But then like shots just ring out right after a taser, and like everyone just jumps off, and then they like handcuff this dead body, which is pretty sickening. That was the most surreal moment of this, because like sadly, like, you know, seeing so many videos of cops shooting people, but then to watch them like cuff a dead body, like, which seems to be obviously dead body to me. And here's the video.
You know, I mean, any EMT will tell you that you don't move a body or
someone
who might have a
spinal
injury.
So. Get that mic a little bit closer to your mouth.
Yeah, you got to talk
there you go.
it right like
all right,
that.
Sweet.
I say, you know, you ain't supposed to move a body if it's got a spinal injury, and that's they constantly, whatever happens to him, they try to cuff him. It's like that with the Indian guy that got paralyzed. You know, he was they try to cuff him. They're trying to pick him up, trying to make him walk on his own. He's paralyzed. He's got a spinal injury.
Right.
You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, it's silly. It's all too often. It shows how cops really don't like value. It seems like those they serve and protect are not human to them. Like, you know, they shoot a dog in a cage and like continue to walk through a house and like tear apart people's properties, like the blatant disrespect.
All right. Well, we've talked enough about it. Let's play this video. So they're wrestling a guy to the ground.
4 cops. 2 more come over. 6.
I mean,
And then they tackle some other guy.
Him. I mean,
they drop their baton in doing so. So like they're not very graceful, these police officers. I don't know what they're thinking at the moment. Like what was the alleged reason for stopping this guy?
I believe it's those tents that are by that tree there.
Can't
in this
have these
video.
tents. Yeah, we see these tents in the video. They look pretty dangerous for the public. You know, I could imagine that warranting violence.
And mind you, before you play this again, just for the people listening, LA has the largest homeless population in the country. 50,000 people is what I believe I read at one site. And so these officers, like, this isn't like a new thing for them. Like, you know what I mean? Like these people didn't come here last week, you know, like the reason for this force is just beyond my, like, this isn't the first time they probably interacted. Like, you know, it's common that the homeless and the police are playing the cat and mouse game, move from here to there, avoid each other, you know.
All right, so let's continue with this video. We'll watch it. We'll probably have to see it twice to get the full effect. But here he is. They've just tackled one person to the side. They've got this other homeless man on the ground, and watch what happens next. That sounds like a taser.
And there's the gunshot.
Whoa! Oh my God!
God damn! Oh fuck! Oh fuck!
Oh my God!
Fuck!
That's right. You just captured a murder on tape.
Motherfucker! Motherfucker!
All right, and so the police start. You can see he puts his arm out, right, to make a perimeter around this situation. What were your initial responses to watching this?
Well, we were in Beaver Creek for the John Crawford protest. This was the night before, so it was Saturday night, and a friend tagged or put it on my timeline on Facebook, and so I was in the hotel room with these guys, and I saw it. My jaw dropped. I was like, "Oh," I'm like, and I told everyone, and we like. It's like I just watched this guy get murdered, and then I quick went into blog mode and tried to get it up on CopBlock.org and did that. And Kelly Patterson, it's got good updates. That's the blog post you pulled up there on the screen earlier. So a lot of information going around the internet and at CopBlock.
You know, he like I said, they're punching him, they're kicking him from a standing position, then they're tasing him. I mean, like, even if he did grab the gun, at what he's got to defend himself at that point. You know, I mean, what are you going to do? You're just going to let him do all that stuff to you? I mean, really? There's so many angles to come at this. Like, it's ridiculous, right? Like 4 officers at least. You know, well, it was 4 that were on him, and then the 2 did divert over to that other guy. So it was 4 on the guy that was murdered, and like they couldn't all get a limb. They could not detain this guy, and even to like. If
they were in the middle of tasing him, right? I mean, they were still tasing him at the time when the guns went off. It sounded like.
That's what I was gonna say. So, like, yes, like they can't even get his limbs. They can't. 4 guys can't get one guy's hands behind his back, and then they tase, and it doesn't seem like they really wait to see if that has much of an effect. You know, and even, you know, like they were tasing him with 4 people on top of him. So, like, what effect did they expect it to have? But then it's like right to the gun and bang, bang, bang. So,
you guys want to take a call?
Well, why not?
All right.
Sure.
Area code 205. You are on CopBlock Radio. Go ahead.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Hey, man. This is Baba Dave down here with Oath Keepers. How you guys doing?
Oh, rock on. Yeah, you called on last week. How's it going?
Man, we're doing good, man. I just wanted to say a few things. First about the LA killing was terrible. I mean, that's a travesty, but it just goes to show how much lives do not matter to the thin blue line, and it's sad. You know,
why do you think that is? Like, why don't they matter?
I really don't know how it's gotten from Andy Griffin to the state that it's in now. Where, I mean, the stats on free thought about the number of killings in the different countries compared to ours are phenomenal.
Yeah, it's insane, right? It's off the charts.
It's not just double; it's like quadruple.
It's not even close. I mean, we're 78 times more likely to kill somebody here than the rest of the world.
Well, not we. No one in here. No, not in this studio.
I've not aggressed on anybody in the last 24 hours. I can vouch for that.
I don't know. I think you did throw a candy wrapper at me on the way here. We'll get to that later.
It's unbelievable. But I would like to say something, Bill, about the state of Alabama and the press that we're getting about the marriage license issue. And I am a libertarian, you know, and if somebody wants to marry, you know, go for it.
Go ahead. You got the last 30 seconds. Go ahead.
I have a problem with states' rights. That's where we're fighting. That's the fight that's actually happening behind the scenes, guys. It's states' rights, not necessarily about marriage. It's about the government coming in and telling us as a state what to do and what not to do. That's what we're standing for. Not as much about gay marriage. I love you guys. Thanks a lot for what you do.
Cool. Where can people follow what you're doing, David?
Well, of course, you know, Oath Keepers Alabama on Facebook. We're a lot of posts on there. And then David Harkins on Facebook. Check us out. The Oath Keepers, Alabama, mainly.
All right, rock on. Peace and freedom.
Thanks, guys.
Shiny badges on your jacket. Shiny badges.
This is Davi Barker from ShinyBadges.com, and I just want to personally apologize for airing a jingle week after week.
So we were
month
getting
after
another
month
call.
that turned
Oh, you haven't heard that?
worm. So to make it up to you, I'm offering a free gift. The next time you make a purchase at ShinyBadges.com, write worms in the transaction comments, and I'll send you something weird.
Are you looking for an excuse to come check out New Hampshire this fall? You're invited to keep.
Yeah. So we were getting a call while David was talking, so I had to disconnect our phone line. I hope that person calls back. We'll see if they left a message. Nope. A lot of times they just get an answering machine and they're like, nah.
When he's playing a video and you want to talk, you should have him pause it. It's harder. It's easier than talking over it.
I can also turn down the video while we're here.
So you give him like a tap.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, that isn't always the case.
Worms.
Bird price of just $40 via credit card or Bitcoin. That $40 price only lasts through early March, so don't delay. Reserve your tickets now at keenvention.info. Visit keenvention.info for more and look for our page and event on Facebook. That's keenvention.info.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. You likely buy all kinds of things online. Amazon is the largest online retailer. You can get what you need at the same great prices, and LRN gets a cut. Please do your online shopping at shop.lrn.fm. I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free. So sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
At Greyhound, we're committed to providing our customers with an exceptional travel experience. And that's why we've outfitted our 2014 line of motor coaches with new deluxe roadway seating that's moderately less disgusting than our traditional fare tickets. For a flat surcharge of $35, customers can upgrade to our exclusive deluxe seating area, where select seats have been refurbished with premium upholstery, boasting significantly less crumbs and Wendy's bags stuffed between the seats, guaranteed to leave you somewhat less repulsed than you are normally. Relax in the comfort that when your feet stick to the floor, they'll be sticking to up to 65% less indeterminate dried fluids. Passengers who upgrade to our elite seating experience will have the option of personalizing the garbage surrounding their seat with a pre-ride selection process, as well as a priority boarding feature where they'll be able to settle into their high-end motor coach accommodations without having to navigate through a crowd of inebriates, ex-convicts, and the morbidly obese. And from all of us at Greyhound, happy travels.
This is the Onion News Network. You can watch the LRN Studio Cam and chat with other listeners anytime at cam.lrn.fm. That's cam.lrn.fm.
Am I free to go?
Yes, you are, Derek.
Thanks, Damo. This is CopBlock Radio, and you can Skype in CopBlock Radio or dial 413-418-COPS. That's 2677. We just had a caller on the line who dropped off. Go ahead and call back in. We did free up the line for you, but right now
we want to speak to you.
We only have the ability to take one call at a time, which is so old school, but that's how we're rolling right now. And we're watching a video about a man who was hurt so bad he died.
The man has a name. It's Africa, right?
Africa is the name that he goes by on the street. He was a homeless man. He was really, I guess his crime was trying to live on the street, just trying to live. He made a little tent for himself. Maybe LA is not the best place to build a tent and try and live. There are probably other better places, but who knows what Africa's story is. Maybe
I think the real crime was the gang of thugs that showed up without any means of like persuasion or communication, immediately went to using force, or I mean, as they walked up, they initiated a threat, or at least communicated one. You know, as I blogged about last week at CopBlock, you know, what cops say when saying nothing at all. And just the mere presence of them, you know, anyone who sees the uniform and the utility belts and the hats and the cars of police officers knows that people who wear or have such things are capable of, you know, X, Y, and Z. And then these officers start to do that, and then they continually escalate it, you know, until the, you know, as far as you can escalate it, right?
Until gunshots. Let's get back to the video, but first, we've got a caller on the line from the 401 area code. Go ahead, you're on CopBlock Radio.
Hey guys, it's Michael.
Hey.
What's up? Just something real quick. I just wanted to thank you guys for the T-shirt. Throw a little promo your way. I called in last weekend, and you guys got in touch with me and hooked me up with that Keep Calm and Film the Police T-shirt. And it's actually a lot cooler than it looks like in the picture. On the arm is badges don't create extra rights, and the CopBlock.org logo on the back.
That's because you've got those buff arms that fill out the shirt.
I do.
Yeah, I didn't see the picture. It was awesome.
I'll send you a PM one time, Derek. Hey, all right, boys. Have a good show, huh?
Rock on. Hey,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Yeah, and that's what brings Dio and I up here to the Shire, is we're picking up the rest of the gear tomorrow. So that new gear with the version 2.0 logo, the Am I Free to Go, and Film the Police that Dio has going on here with his like
I like
cue
these
card
stickers.
style. Yep, these stickers will get on the website too. Those are courtesy of the great relationship CopBlock has with libertystickers.com.
And so it says Film the Police with the CopBlock logo as the O. It also says Am I Free to Go with the CopBlock logo as the O.
I cannot wait to sport this sweatshirt around. I want to sport this sweatshirt around so badly.
And this one says Fuck the Police with the CopBlock logo as the O in police. So that's pretty cool. And I saw you guys leave these stickers on a restaurant table as you left today from
I always leave a tip.
From a local meetup at Local Burger here in Keene. There were about 25 or so. Yeah, good food. 25 or so activists who met up in the Keene area just to meet each other, mingle, get to know folks, and share some good food. You left these on the table as you left, presumably for the folks who come after you to spot them, take a look, and maybe take some for themselves. I think some people even from our group decided to take some with them because they had never seen them before.
Yeah, well, we just got them today. They are hot off the presses. Well, they might have been here for a minute, but we just got here today. So, yeah, those will be in the store. The gear is coming. Like I said, there's the new version logo shirt. They like Dio's wearing here. They will no longer have the .org on the front. They'll just have the big logo. The .org will be on the sleeve like that.
They will still have it on the sleeve.
And we are bringing back 2 styles of hats. You're going to have a strapped hat and a fitted hat, and as well as sweatpants. So again, copblock.org/store. Those orders we should be caught up on the shipping through the weekend. You know, by Monday morning, everything should be going to the post office.
Sweet, because CopBlock gear, it really sends a message. I'm
going to say this, and I don't think I've said this in a while. I'm looking forward to wearing my CopBlock sweatpants. Like CopBlock sweatpants, those are gonna be awesome. Like,
do you wear them out CopBlocking, or
I'll wear them all the time. I'll wear them CopBlock. I'll probably go with my Stormtrooper costume. It'll be great. Black sweatpants with a little CopBlock logo and a Stormtrooper costume.
The uniform will be
branding
complete.
in the video.
So enough plugs. You can get all that stuff at copblock.org/store.
I'm just excited about it. But yes,
I'm excited about it too.
Me too.
Let's go back to this video. I want to watch it again. It's only a 30-second clip. And now we've got a better idea of what's going on in this scene here. So I count 6 police here.
Yep, and then 2 are about to break off. Yep, see, 2 break off to this individual. 4.
And they both drop their batons.
Yep, 4 on that other person.
4 people.
On Africa.
On Africa.
There might even be 5 on him.
I count 4.
I think there was one ducked behind a tree. Unless it was just a bystander.
Which one fires? Can you tell?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the one with his arms still outstretched, right?
Yep, like the 3rd one in.
Do we know anything about that officer who fired?
I haven't personally read any information on that. I mean, there's the usual, they're on paid administrative leave, and there might have been like a rank or years on the force, I believe I read.
Now, do the LAPD wear video cameras? Isn't that one of those places where they've got body cams?
I don't think so.
I don't think LA is. I think you're thinking of like Oakland and the Bay Area has a lot of.
Rialto was the one that was there. Everybody talks about all the time.
But it's not. I wouldn't. I'm sure there's probably some that computer. Excuse me, computer. As I'm looking at a computer, I believe that squad car will probably have footage. If you look back at the video, there's a car pointing right at it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Here on screen, you can see that there are cars that are pointing right at the scene, who should have both audio and video from that killing there. So.
And I did read a story too that the LAPD was like there's a crowd of people on the other side from this perspective, and
were they?
There were more. Yes, that they're alleging that there are more angles of this footage.
Good, because we need another angle.
Well, I hope if anybody out there has that and they haven't put that out, I would highly encourage them to put that out before.
Why would they not put that out?
I don't know. I guess I can sometimes people don't make the decision I would in life, but I don't really understand this one. Right?
It's like you film something. It's a murder that you weren't expecting to see, and you don't put that online.
But you can understand that there's people out there that are like, oh, they're scared. Like they don't think the police will come to their house. They do. They think that's bad.
They might. Yeah,
so
the police
probably
might come to their house.
Right. Well, not the funny. The ironic thing is that the police are looking for them right now. Right.
Well, that's true.
They could always submit it to CopBlock.org if they wanted to. We'll put it out.
Right. My other thought about this is that it happened in LA, which is not a gun-friendly place.
No, not at all.
California as a whole.
This is part of the mentality of police feeling like they can push around anyone on the street because there's a pretty good chance that person is disarmed.
Right. Well,
more than likely.
How could this officer answer the justified use of deadly force? Why did you shoot him? He's face down on the ground with a bunch of cops on him. Like, what actual threat? Awful.
This is CopBlock Radio.
What if the key to achieving liberty?
Like they're on him. Like they just escalated it so fast from like standing to fighting to like on the ground and then beating him, tasing him, shooting. It was like really fast. Do. Awful. Like no chance, right? Like you cannot make cops work harder. Like it is illegal and dangerous. Like if you just go limp and make them work harder, you will be charged with resisting arrest. If you resist them to make so this guy he had no weapon, right? Like he had his fist, but I understand he could do a weapon, but I'm saying he had no weapon that would create an immediate life-threatening scenario.
You know what I'll bet they just, and maybe I should save this for the air, but we are recording from this audio device at the moment. What I think is at the morning meeting where all the cops get together and the chief says, all right, now, I want to see bodies through these cells. I want to see citations, on my desk. And I want to see, Jones, you better get more arrests, because you didn't get enough.
Go on vacation this week,
Yeah, I know your wife wants, a new car or whatever, and they put the pressure on him. And I've heard, remember in New York City, who was the guy who had Schoolcraft? He recorded, he was like, oh, I'm feeling sick, and he left for the day, and the police came to his house, and they surrounded his apartment and busted in, like, we know you're not sick, like, come on out. Do you remember that?
I don't think I saw that one. That's weird.
Adrian Schoolcraft, yeah, and he had been recording the police secretly, and this was the New York NYPD. I don't know where you were at the time, Damo, because Pete definitely covered this, and I know JJ even did a video. Oh, we got 2 calls.
The more you describe it, it's starting to get a little familiar, but
well, Adrian Schoolcraft, we got to go back
I still don't remember the specifics.
to talk about the mentality of these cops. Oh, hey, caller from 574, you there? Rock on, man. Hey, we're on a break at the moment. Can we hold you for another minute and a half and then put you on? All right, rock on. Please hold. So anyway, one of the things that Adrian recorded was the chief saying, I want this street to look like a ghost town. I don't want to see anyone on the streets. I want to be able to shout and hear an echo. And that's New York City that he's talking about. Like, okay, since when did that ever look like a ghost town? Like, what are you talking about? You want to fill up these cells? Like, you want so many people in jail that there's no one on the street?
We can put a few more boats in Rikers Island.
So, you know, I think that the cops in the morning meeting sort of set this mentality like, get these people off the street. I want them in our cells. And it's like, if you got to kill a homeless guy, fuck them.
It's like a new pep talk.
I agree. We should say it from the air, but I think it starts sooner than that. It's in the training. And
it's got to be. I don't know what it is. Here, I got to find that Adrian School.
I think I would love. Well, let's talk about it next. I'm telling you, man. When they're in training, like if you're about to arrest a person, it's probably just really good idea to say stop resisting every time you're about to put the handcuffs on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
They probably do say that over your ass.
And you think you're about to pull your gun out, say, get your hand away from my gun, or get your hands out of your pocket.
Do you know if they say that or not?
I don't, but I'm saying they have to, because they all say it.
All right, we're coming back.
Like, it doesn't take a rocket science.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Check. Yeah, CopBlock Radio. We're live, and we're showing video of a recent killing by police of a homeless man named Africa, and we're talking about that, but we've got your calls. You can call in 413-418-COPS. Gets you on the air. That's 413-418-2677. Or if you want to tickle our eardrums and really sound nice, you should call in via Skype. Our address is CopBlockRadio.
Talk to me, baby.
Whoa.
Let's go to 574. Where are you calling from?
Rochester, Indiana.
Rock on, Rochester, Indiana.
All right.
What have you got for us tonight?
Well, I just saw your guys' post on Facebook, and I was like, man, how cool would it be to talk to the guys from CopBlock? So I just decided to call in. Yeah, man, I really believe you guys are an inspiration, man. I believe that awareness inspires change, and you guys are definitely spreading a hell of a lot of awareness. I really believe in the cause, man. I really believe in justice, and hopefully one day there'll be enough to go around for everyone, hopefully.
Well, awesome. Appreciate the kind words. And, CopBlock.org/groups. I know there's a few Indiana chapters.
This Adam?
This is a demo, yeah.
This is who?
A demo.
A demo.
Yes.
Awesome.
But CopBlock, I was just saying, CopBlock.org/groups. I know there's a few Indiana chapters. You could link up with some of the folks out there and, start being the CopBlock change you want to see in the world. We could Jack Gandhi's quote, the CopBlock change you want to see in the world.
Man. I know that our town definitely needs some people, exposing what, how some people are treated a lot of the times. And I know right now there's a federal lawsuit in the works against the police department here for violating someone's rights. They did nothing wrong. They had no reason to be beaten up and thrown around and everything. And so finally, I feel like people are just, starting to see that, we don't have to take this crap from anybody, let alone, somebody that's being paid to, just go out and harass you. So, yeah, I definitely love to see more people hit the streets out here and really start. Cause there's a lot of assholes running around. So.
With badges, right? Shiny badges.
Yeah, with
shiny badges.
It's even worse. They can get away with it. So
they do get away with it.
I just wanted to call in and share my support for everything you guys do. You guys really help me see through a lot of things that the propaganda or whatever. So I just wanted to call in and show support from Rochester.
You are the one you've been looking for, so get out there.
Exactly. What is the quote? What is the quote? You know, they say somebody should do something. Well, you're somebody. So yeah, I really been wanting to step up lately and do something. I don't know what it is exactly yet I can do, but I'm definitely searching for it.
All right, man. Well, when you do, let us know, and thank you again for the kind words.
You've got a place to submit yourself.
Yeah, always supporting CopBlock. Woo!
Thanks, man. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
All right. You can call in like he did, 413-418-COPS. We're going to get back to this video, but I want to talk more. What sort of mentality is required in order for an event like this to happen? For 6 guys in black to walk up to 2 defenseless people sitting there on the sidewalk and then end up with one of them in handcuffs and another one bleeding dead on the ground, also in handcuffs. How do we get there?
Well, let's talk about that sickness. What did we witness in Cleveland about that?
Well, a number of like.
What are you talking about, Dio? What did you witness? Can you tell me?
Outside of the Tamir Rice spot where he was killed, there's a memorial there, and me and Ademo and Virgil came up there, and we went to go take some pictures and stuff, and there was a cop sitting in the parking lot, and we just thought how disgusting that was.
Why is that disgusting?
Because they're like a guy that looks just like this guy just shot somebody over here, and he's sitting there stalking the site. You know what I mean?
Well, he has to make sure it's safe, right?
It's like if somebody shot your kid, right, and then they just stood outside your house just for the next couple of weeks or whatever. I mean, I just find that abhorrent behavior.
Yeah, and for Dio's case that he's describing now in Cleveland, it's like the officer wasn't just merely sitting there. I believe that they're sitting there daily, and obviously they are going to say what you said, Derek. That oh well,
it's for the kids.
It's for
we got to keep it safe.
We've had a shooting in this area, and so we might as well be here to keep it safe. You guys were the shooters, right? What were you thinking? But as well as that day that we were there, he drove around the parking lot and ran Virgil's plates and my plates, and so he was definitely unhappy that
he's
people
a predator.
Oh, for sure. And so that's when it was irritating to me that hey, he's parked facing this thing too, it's directly in front of him, the memorial, the spot where his colleague, without thought is how I would describe the situation. For those who aren't familiar with the Tamir Rice video, is a kid was roaming around a park near a school with a BB gun. Yes, he was pointing it at other people, but when the cops show up, they pull up on the grass from a side street where it was a dead end, and then they pulled under the grass. And before the car even stops and the cop has his foot on the ground, he's out the door shooting. The kid, was making a reaction. I think he was going to intend to drop the gun, but he gets shot, and then they keep shooting. And
I mean, the command
12-year-old kid.
The command is in question too, because we're not sure whether he said, drop the gun or hands up. I mean, if somebody tells, especially a 12-year-old, drop the gun, the first thing the guy's going to do is try to drop the damn gun. I mean, it's just a natural reaction.
Well, whatever. Forget about the commands, man. Let's talk about the principle to me. And this brings it back to LA. To me, it's why are cops shooting people so quickly? This car isn't in park.
Yeah.
The taser wasn't off in the video in the LA. Tasers, sometimes they're timed. I know they can be held. If you pull the trigger on a taser and they will electrocute for whatever, but for most of them, it's a 3 to 5 second jolt, and I don't think 2 seconds went by, maybe 3 in the LA video. It's oh, boom, right to this force. These cops in Cleveland got a call of a person with a gun, and their first reaction on scene is to get out and shoot, not even identify that's at a 12-year-old, that it's a toy gun. Cops want to be oh, we're brave, we're courageous. It's so amazing that we come home every night. Well then, hey, let this 12-year-old kid point a gun at you and say, honey, I thought I was going to die tonight. Thankfully, it was a BB gun. and we arrested the kid or whatever they would do. I don't even think arresting the kid would be worth it, but taking him back to his parents or like take his little toy gun away, whatever. But like, you know, cops are wearing body armor. I don't think a 12-year-old kid is going to be a very good shot. And yeah, if I was a cop, I would most certainly rather have the kid take a shot than me just shoot a kid and then find out it's a BB gun. Like that would kind of be like what I signed up for. That should be what it's signed up for. But instead, these guys are in the, you know, academy getting told that everyone's a criminal, that you should be scared. And I wouldn't doubt, which like we were talking about on off air, that these guys are trained that, you know, pro tip from the sergeant up here up front, everybody pay attention. When you're about to arrest a guy, just say stop resisting, because then if you need to, you can always throw that charge out and really teach the douchebag a lesson.
If somebody happened to catch you on tape, you know, you got that in your back pocket.
Hey, that's a good idea, Damo. I think I'll use that next time I arrest a police officer.
That's right. You should do that.
We've got a caller on the line from area code 206. You are on CopBlock Radio. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. I just had a couple of comments there. Yeah, just you guys were talking about the Martin thing. It seems to me like, yeah, pretty hard to not react instantaneously with the
Tamir Rice, I think is what he meant.
Okay.
Not Trayvon Martin. We were talking about Tamir Rice.
I'm so sorry.
It's
Tamir
cool.
Rice,
They happened around the same time, so I can understand why you would get confused.
Just right up onto the kid, you know, and then of course when the kid like reaches in his belt, they have to act instantaneously. Like you figure if you park the car back like 100 yards and kind of get on the megaphone,
assess the situation,
right? What you got there and stuff, kind of.
Yeah.
You see the kid pull the trigger and nothing comes out.
Well, hey, I imagine you have more to say. Can you hold the line and we'll bring you back?
Yeah.
All right. We have to step away for just a moment to go sell some things.
That's right.
While we're away, go to copblock.org/store and buy some things.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross may be spending the rest of his life in prison. His family is planning to appeal his conviction, but they need your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Ross needs your help now more than ever. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.LRN.FM. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
Should you be able to earn an honest living free from senseless government interference? The Institute for Justice thinks so. That's why we've spent years defending hard-working men and women from pointless government regulations. Nationwide, IJ has created opportunity by reducing government power, but there is still more work to be done. Visit our website today at ij.org. Let IJ take care of the government so you can take care of your business.
If you can't listen to the Liberty Radio Network's internet streams, free satellite channel, or radio affiliates, no worries. You can listen to LRN.FM from any phone, anywhere. Add this number to your phone: 213-493-0309. It's a long-distance call, so make sure you're familiar with your phone's calling plan. The Liberty Radio Network listen lines are locked into our stream 24 hours a day. Call 213-493-0309. That's 213-493-0309.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country.
Yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market, making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
While our satellite channel
Okay, listener, we are coming back.
help us cover our satellite side of the page at lrn.fm.
Yeah, I hope you're doing the head nod to this rage against the machine. Here we are piecing against the machine. I don't think any of us are really in a rage here.
I don't know. I like a little rage every now and then.
I don't rage, though. I'm just very peaceful. I'm sad about what happens with the LA guy. I don't get very rage-filled with that.
I'm constantly in the rage.
In the rage. Yeah, well,
he is. He's like, driving here 12 hours with him was like, I was like, Dio, it's okay. Breathe.
Really?
I'm driving.
Get out of my way.
He's got a short, road rage fuse.
I hear cannabis is good for that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if there's enough on the planet to clear his road rage.
All right. Well, we're
Tried
bringing back a caller from the 206, and he had some interesting things to say.
Tried that.
Yeah, hey, gang.
Hello. So we cut you off last time. We were so rudely interrupted by commercials. So why don't you tell us what you were trying to say?
That's all right. Everyone needs to get paid, right? Yeah, no, I was just talking about you guys were talking about the scene where the kid is playing with a toy gun in the park.
Yeah, that's Tamir Rice in Cleveland, Ohio.
Inches from the kid and pull out and shoot the kid in like an instant, you know?
Yes.
I was figuring, or I was wondering, why wouldn't the cops just park like 50 yards away, kind of got behind their doors, kind of got out in on their blowhorns and gun, like, you know, put it down type of thing? Like, why did they nearly drive into the kid?
There's only one time they do that. Is when they actually think they're out, like, numbered or gunned, like firepower.
My answer to you is because people like you don't become cops.
I guess my point is that I understand that any of the questions here is pretty much rhetorical to you and I, but just for everyone else out there, like, come on, man, the practices here is like, I mean,
they would have seen him pull the trigger and nothing come out.
Shot. It's like, well, how about the whole thing? Like, should they have damn drove the car practically into the kid, you know?
No.
They might as well have. I mean, the way they came in there. But you're right.
Yeah,
their actions from the police, the two officers in that car's actions that day, were not one of like investigating to like see if there was a danger, to come into an area and see what's going on. They came in hot. They came out of the car with their guns drawn. You'll see, Derek's pulling it up on the screen again for those of you who are watching that way. This one cop falls down on the other side of the car, on the passenger side. And I believe, from what it looks like, is like he's out of the car and his one foot isn't even on the ground and he's shooting and the car's still moving a little bit. And so he loses his balance. Like, he's not even like stationary and he's shooting at this kid. You know, like, what did he assess in that amount of time? Right? Like, he probably didn't even know this kid was 12. He didn't know if the gun was real. You know, nothing. He was just like, we heard about a gun in a park. We're going to go there and we're going to kill them. That's what we do for the police. That's what they taught us.
And that's what they did.
Hey, we got another call from the 574 area code. Make sure that you have our broadcast turned off when you start speaking to us, and go ahead with your thoughts.
I'm sorry, I didn't get any of that.
Yeah, make sure you turn off the broadcast that you're listening to, and then you can speak with us.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay, we've got nothing but time here.
It's all right. Yeah. So,
My bad. No,
it's cool.
Oh god.
So,
no, man, I just.
What's
sorry,
on your mind?
Hey, I didn't know if you guys had seen that trailer. It's a new movie coming out. It's all about like, I don't know, in the trailer they're all like, oh, the police are out of control and like there's like robots and there's like crazy cops killing everybody and then there's like this revolution getting started or whatever. Have you guys seen that?
What's the movie called?
Yeah.
Oh man, I guess I should have Googled it.
It's this awesome movie that you guys are gonna love, and it's so great.
Yeah.
What's it called?
No, it's awful. It's awful. I didn't catch the title, but the reason I was called was because I wanted to. I had a little theory, man. I was like, okay, you know, all the recent stuff going on, you know, cops just going haywire, just on a rampage or whatever. And now there's a movie coming out all about like brutality and revolution and all this crazy stuff. I was thinking, you know, what if, you know, just a theory, you know, crazy conspiracy theory, whatever. What if it's like something like the establishment is like trying to like, you know, like incite something within the people, you know what I mean? Like with using the movie or using Hollywood and like with everything going on, you know what I'm saying?
You're about to go on a journey of seven.
Well, he's like, hello. No, I hear you. I believe that personally the government is doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's growing, and maybe they do plan to have some clash, and that's kind of what you're saying here, right? That it's like they're ready to set this off, per se.
No, they have a name for this. It's like called continuance of governance or something, right? And they actually have plans for this. It's not a secret. It's not a conspiracy theory to say that the government has a plan for when things go batshit crazy. And it's called like, I don't know what the title is, continuance or something, but it's like, how do we stay in power when things go haywire? And
I've heard of it.
Yeah, that's not a secret. You know, they plan for that. And I think they see the writing on the wall just as everyone else does. My hope is that people can peacefully prepare themselves to be independent and not have to lift a finger in violence when things go bad, when things start to fail. Because the state, we know this, states always fail. This one's no different. It's going to fail. So if you can prepare yourself in a way that you don't need to use violence, then I think that would be the real best scenario. You know, see the writing on the wall.
Ideal if there was no violence, but you know.
But that's up to you. I mean, that's up to the steps that you take. If you don't prepare you get what you prepare for, right? So if you're preparing for a peaceful future, then that's most likely what you're going to get.
Learn the gardening skills, do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but there are a lot of people, I call them gun cleaners, and they're all too excited to do nothing and sit on their ass, wait for things to get bad, and then pick up their gun, and that's when they have decided to go do something, and then it's too late.
I've been waiting for this one.
I appreciate your call. We've got another caller on the line we're going to get to next. But you sounded like you had something to say on that, Dio. Did I interrupt you?
No. Go on. I think I was trying to make my own sound effect.
Okay.
Dio.
All right, 303. We got you on CopBlockRadio. Go ahead.
It's a 303.
Oh, sorry if I wasn't clear.
Never mind.
The 303 just dumped us like a bad habit.
Drop you like third period French.
All right, we can go back to the mentality of police to get to the point where they could just shoot an innocent person on the street. I had a video that I wanted to share with you about Adrian Schoolcraft. Take a listen to this.
A New York police officer tonight breaking the infamous blue wall of silence.
An officer claims he has secretly recorded tapes proving the department has a quota system and is manipulating crime statistics.
Adrian Schoolcraft is a New York City policeman who decided to secretly record himself and his fellow officers on the job all day, every workday, he says.
I went to jail for that.
Months, including lots of days when he was ordered to do all kinds of things cops are not supposed to do. It's led to a small scandal, several people removed from their jobs, and 4 investigations of the New York Police Department.
I wasn't meeting their undocumented quota, the non-quota quota.
Officer Adrian Schoolcraft, an 8-year veteran, spoke about how a top-down pressure to make summons quotas corrupted policing in the 81st precinct.
Adrian Schoolcraft says he isn't exactly sure when, But at some point he decided that it was important to document the orders that he was given, that he thought were out of line. He recorded roll calls where officers were constantly being told to do more stop and frisks, even though it's illegal to stop a random person on the street and frisk them without reasonable suspicion. In December 2008, a sergeant tells officers to stop and frisk, quote, anybody walking around, no matter what the explanation is.
They were just reacting. When they grab bodies off the street, when the inspector refers to them as bodies, how many bodies have I got in the cells?
Schoolcraft says day in and day out, it was all about the numbers with little respect for people's rights.
I want 250 to see something. I want a ghost town. I want to be able to echo from one end of the street to the other. You understand? That's what I want in a perfect world.
All right, let's
In
stop
a
there.
perfect world.
Yeah, let's stop there. That's the chief talking, and this police officer working for the NYPD secretly recorded day in and day out his job at the NYPD, recorded his commanding officer saying, I want this to be a ghost town. I want to be able to hear an echo from one end of the street to the other. That would be a perfect world, in his words.
Yeah, that's crazy. And bravo on this guy. I did recall seeing this as well as we pulled it up. Yeah, this is like the one good cop that you could probably talk about. Like
Adrian Schoolcraft is his name, and you can hear all half hour, I think is what it's been condensed down to, his tapes, but he's got dozens of them of police officers saying, that there's a quota, that the police officers are under pressure not only to get numbers to deliver to their commanding officers, but also they're trained not to think of their fellow humans as humans, to think of them as something lesser, to think of them as just bodies to fill their cells. It's sick.
Criminals, threats.
This is CopBlock Radio. We'll be back. We've got more on the LAPD story, plus what Ademo and Dio have been up to.
A lot of stuff.
Ooh. We'll be right back.
We've been up to no good.
Do you ever say, I could care less, when you really mean the opposite? You mean to say, I couldn't care less. It's a common mistake. You are judged by how you speak, especially if you're looking for work with so openings now. But even if you're not, avoiding common misstatements will help you make the most of the dozens of conversations and transactions that crowd your daily routine. So whatever you say, don't say whatever as a single word sentence. It's the most annoying expression in the American English language, according to a recent poll. And avoid cliches like the plague. Just kidding. But seriously, at the end of the day, you'll want to avoid this scenario, sounding like everyone else. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
DVD, books, music, instruments, periodicals, computers, software, electronics, photo, cell phone, office products, home and garden, bed and bath, furniture, kitchen, pet supplies, automotive, hardware, apparel, shoes, jewelry, grocery, healthcare, sports and outdoors, toys, games, used, and more. It's a department store at your fingertips. Shop.lrn.fm. Get all your shopping done, get a great deal, and a portion of your purchase goes to benefit the Liberty Radio Network when you shop at Amazon via shop.lrn.fm. On LRN.FM, we talk a lot about alternative currencies. Did you know that now you can buy gold, silver, and other precious metals with Bitcoins? LRN.FM has partnered with Amaji Metals to bring you great prices on beautiful .999 fine silver, as well as gold, platinum, and other metals. Check out their selection and pay with Bitcoins or Federal Reserve notes at metal.lrn.fm. That's metal.lrn.fm.
More CopBlock Radio is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates, online at thelibertybeat.com. I'm Brian Hagan with your Liberty Beat for Wednesday, March 4th, 2015. Gold opened today at $1,204, down $2. Silver opened at $16.22, down 7 cents, and Bitcoin is trading around $280.30. Today's metal prices brought to you by Midas Resources Incorporated, helping clients convert their paper 401ks and IRAs to solid gold and silver. Get their 10 Reasons book free by calling 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237. In the news, the Russian lawyer defending Edward Snowden has stated that the whistleblower desires to return to the United States if he'll be given a fair trial. Speaking at a press conference, Snowden's attorney said he and a group of lawyers from other countries are working on bringing Snowden back to America. Snowden is only willing to return on the condition that he's guaranteed a legal and impartial trial. So far, the U.S. Attorney General has only promised that he would not face the death penalty. The New York City Police Department is considering signing a contract with Vigilant, a company that specializes in gathering billions of license plate records. Ars Technica reported on documents showing the NYPD is seeking to contract with Vigilant for access to the National Vehicle Location Service. Much like the Stingray cell phone surveillance tools, departments who contract with Vigilant sign agreements not to publicly discuss the database. But the American Civil Liberties Union says the departments may be violating open record laws by refusing to release the details. The United States visit of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu caused a boycott by more than 50 House Democrats and protests from the Jewish community. While speaking at the annual American Israel Public Affairs Committee in D.C., Netanyahu was faced with protests from a few dozen rabbis who oppose the state of Israel, as well as protesters with Code Pink rallying outside the Cannon House office building. Code Pink protesters entered the House building and confronted members of Congress for their support of Netanyahu's plan to halt nuclear talks between the U.S. and Iran. Netanyahu also spoke to Congress directly, asking those in attendance to abandon talks with Iran, calling it a, quote, very bad deal, end quote. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from My Magic Mud, detoxifying tooth powder, the most effective and affordable dental care around. Get a 150 application jar at mymagicmud.com. Looking to promote your business or cause to tens of thousands of loyal listeners? Well, for a limited time only, the Liberty Beat is offering you the chance to save big while spreading your message. It's simple. Just sign up for 3 months of advertising and get your 4th month free. Don't miss out on this unique opportunity. Just visit thelibertybeat.com/advertise and use coupon code GCN in the Describe Your Company section. This is the Liberty Beat for Wednesday, March 4th, 2015. Check out the website at thelibertybeat.com. CNN is reporting that a Justice Department civil rights investigation has concluded that the Ferguson Police Department and the city's municipal court engaged in a pattern and practice of discrimination against African Americans. The probe is the result of an investigation ordered by Attorney General Eric Holder after the police shooting that killed Michael Brown last summer. On Tuesday, retired Army General David Petraeus pled guilty to leaking classified intelligence to his former mistress and is expected to receive 2 years of probation and a fine. Petraeus, who was also the former director of the CIA, pled guilty in a U.S. District Court in North Carolina to 1 count of unauthorized removal of classified material and retention of classified material. The plea deal allows Petraeus to avoid a trial and accept a charge that carries a maximum sentence of 1 year in prison. However, both the defense and prosecution recommend he pay a $40,000 fine and serve 2 years probation. A research paper published by Google discusses the possibility of ranking search results based on factual accuracy rather than popularity. The paper discusses ranking the search results after Google analyzes a variety of services.
Hey, Nathan.
Oh, hey.
This is Derek J. I can hear you. You are clear. It is good.
Is Dio on like a hangout or something?
No, they're here in studio, but we are hanging out for just another 2 minutes. Can you hold, please?
I can.
Thank you.
Ammunition. They take major credit cards and now accept Bitcoin. Visit them online at shop.centraltexasgunworks.com. Support also comes from the Conscious Resistance Network. Videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. This is the Liberty Beat for Wednesday, March 4th, 2015. I'm Brian Hagan, reporting, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Despite a long-held consensus pointing to the mid-20s as the final stage of brain maturation, a new study has found that the adolescent brain doesn't fully...
So we are here with Dio from CopBlock, which is right here. He's right here. And this is a demo from CopBlock.
But it's not until the boy stares deep into the murderer's eyes and then stabs him right in the heart that the two lobes fuse into a fully mature brain.
According to Dr. Laurie's findings, the myelin surrounding the teenage nerve synapses develops when boys stake out the home of their father's murderer, put themselves through grueling physical training, and fantasize again and again about how satisfying it will be when he finally makes the bastard who took everything from him beg for his life.
Now, if they let their father's killer slip through their grasp, or if they press the barrel of a gun to the back of his head and then realize they don't have what it takes to pull the trigger, then the amygdala is definitively stunted, and they'll have lifelong problems interpreting emotional information.
This is the Onion News Network.
CopBlock Radio, we are live this Wednesday, March 4th. Let me try that again. March 4th! It's a command, not a date.
I love the echo.
And in studio with me, Derek J.
It's Dio.
And Damo.
And we're rocking it live here at LRN.FM, the Liberty Radio Network. Of course, you can watch the program if you didn't know. If you're just tuning in, you can watch us live at CopBlock.org/show. There's a chat room in there built in as well. And of course, it's all free. So go watch CopBlock.org/show. And you can dial in 413-418-COPS is our call-in number. That's 413-418-2677. Or Skype us at CopBlockRadio, and then you'll sound extra creamy like Nathan in Texas. Go ahead, Nathan.
Hi, guys. So I guess you're all there for the Start of Liberty Forum, huh?
Well, I don't know if that was actually a Damo and Dio's intention.
It's not. It wasn't. We're here to pick up the gear. It just so happened to coincide.
Okay.
Lucky coincidence.
So I don't know if you heard my call to Free Talk Live, but it concerns a question I've been thinking about lately, which is when should you obey orders from police? And it seems like different people give different answers depending on the circumstances. So in the case on Free Talk Live, we were talking about a man named Brian Aitken, and he was essentially railroaded through the courts in New Jersey to a 7-year prison sentence and imprisoned with violent felons for legally possessing guns in his car.
Yep, I remember this case very well. I met him a few times.
Oh, sorry. So you know about it, Damo?
I do know about it. Yeah, we Pete and I met Brian on Liberty on Tour in 2011 in New York City, shortly after he had gotten out of jail. And then again at Porkfest, he came up, I think, the following year or that year. And so, yeah, he wrote a book, and I believe he have some sort of a lawsuit like come to a conclusion like in the past year or so?
I think that might have been the reason he was on the Lions of Liberty show. He still didn't get to see his his son, who's the judge believes he's unsuitable to be a father or something because he's a felon, even though his sentence was commuted.
Right.
Wait, so the charges stay even though the sentence doesn't? That's sick.
Well,
New Jersey is a little out of their minds.
So
I grew up there. It's really I remember when I was growing up there being talked out of trying to get my trying to own a gun and stuff like that. It was just
by the police?
No, by everybody. I mean, parents,
just the culture,
friends. Yeah, I mean, like everybody was like, you don't want to go through all that crap. You can't, and then it's almost impossible to get because New Jersey doesn't just give out the licenses and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, that was one point that confused me actually about the case because he legally purchased the guns in Colorado, which required a background check, and then somehow legally took them to New Jersey, and he called the police in New Jersey and they walked him through it or something. I didn't get that part.
New Jersey doesn't have reciprocity. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I remember there being during the stop, exercising your rights and that dominoed and to them teaching lessons, and he sat in jail for a while.
For 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that actually gets to the point of my call, which is in the specific scenario, like the thing that started the snowball. He was in his car and he had legal, apparently they're legal, guns in his car. And so his mom called 911 because she was worried about him because he said something strange. So then the police essentially called him on his phone and said, hey, you better come back here to your mom's house or we're going to, sick everyone in the state on you. Like, we're going to put out a manhunt for you. And I think Ian and Cantwell suggested that he should have just sort of kept going, like just because in New Jersey there's an exemption if you're like transporting guns from like a house to house kind of scenario. And so I was thinking about that and comparing that to the situation of like a DUI traffic stop. Like suppose you're at a DUI stop and the cop just starts giving you orders like, okay, I order you to take a breathalyzer or I order you to get out of the car or whatever. What's your view on like when you should or shouldn't obey orders from the police?
Well, I mean, when you're talking about that specific instance in New Jersey, for example, I mean, you if you don't submit to the breathalyzer, regardless of what happens, they suspend your license. So, I mean, it's like you come to do I want my license suspended? I have to go to work tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
right.
Ultimately, right? Oh, go ahead, Nathan.
No, I was going to say, so in the case in New Jersey, it seems like the right thing was to refuse the order because there's a chance you could lawfully, put the guns in your home or whatever, and then talk to the police. Whereas if it's something like they have you on the side of the road and they start giving you orders or whatever, it seems like the right thing to do is to follow, like lawfully comply with all orders. Even though I don't think disobeying a cop is that technically a charge?
I mean, for me,
yes. I was charged with disobeying a police officer.
Me too.
For me, I think it's
charge.
always best to refuse the breathalyzer anyway, because then they can't prove that you were actually drunk or whatnot, because you're incriminating yourself as far as I'm concerned.
So for me, there's a few factors into answering this question, like when should you disobey a cop? And so it's like, well, am I just going to the grocery store? Like, am I out in a stormtrooper costume doing cop blocking? Like, am I willing to go to a trial for whatever the interaction,
right,
is for? And so if I'm jaywalking while I'm out cop blocking because I was following some cops who were chasing a guy down an alley, then like I will disobey their orders to stop jaywalking every single time.
I'll disobey their asses off.
Right. I'll take the ticket and whatever, but if I'm a driver in a car that was going just to get an item from a store and needed to get back home, and the cop's like, give me your driver's license and registration, I'm gonna be like, all right, here it is. I'm probably gonna still film him, but I'm not gonna like disobey all his orders, in that scenario. So I would encourage folks, think through some of these scenarios, educate themselves. CopBlock.org/know your rights is a good place to start, or /resources, and determine your line in the sand and like what methods you'd want to lawful or unlawful orders.
Circumstances, like
Sure.
we were talking about, it all depends on the circumstances. What works for you, you do what works for you. I mean, me personally, I ain't gonna get down on you for whatever you do.
But film it and then publish it to
Definitely
YouTube.
Film it as a given.
Yeah, what about a woman? I heard a story from a girl who messaged me earlier today saying, oh, the police were harassing us on our trip through Chicago. And I said, did you get video?
Oh.
Yeah, right. Duh.
It's Chicago.
Yeah. No, I said, did you get video? And she said, no, it would have put us in danger. And I responded, that doesn't make any sense. But does it make any sense? Am I the only one? Or is it true what she says?
Didn't Liberty Phoenix say there was like Illinois wasn't quite a one-party consent state or something? Like there was some weird thing in the law there?
Yeah, well, yeah, they charge you with the E's, or they have the wiretapping and the E, or is it something else? But anyways, I was thinking of the I'll think of it in a minute, but it's not coming to me.
Well, I can also give it a little thing while you're trying to think of that. It also reminded me of James Cleveland's story. He just got bailed out of jail on an unrelated matter in Virginia, I think, and he got a suspended 1-year jail sentence, essentially for her failure to obey the arbitrary orders of a police officer. And his situation was he was trying to film some kind of news event, like someone was allegedly committing suicide or had a hostage or something.
Yep.
And he was trying to film this or take pictures as a journalist. And the police essentially told him to go away or move back. And they kept telling him to move back. And at some point, he just decided, okay, well, I think I've moved back far enough, and I'm not going to move back anymore. and then they arrested him and charged him with I don't even know what the charge was. Probably disorderly.
Right. I mean,
it was. I think
Pardon me, I had a cold.
It was disorderly and resisting arrest.
Yeah, and Derek J, is that you said you were actually charged with failure to obey a cop? Is that right, or was it disorderly?
Yes, failure to obey a law enforcement officer was the charge. Maybe I can pull that up for us during the break. We'll be right back. I want to get into this James Cleveland story because we haven't talked about that at all yet. This is CopBlock Radio.
That's your radio.
The Free State Project.
What'd you say?
It's your radio. Ever seen it? Movie Radio?
No, I don't think I remember that.
I've not. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, Cuba Gooding Jr. Okay, yeah, I'll check that out. Hey, Nathan, you're still on. Did you have more you wanted to share about James Cleveland, refusal, whatever?
Oh, yeah, sure. We can talk about that story. I'm actually kind of curious a little about that.
Okay, hang tight. Oops.
Oh, by the way, did you see Liberty Phoenix yet?
Yes.
Is he well?
Yes,
Yes.
I've
Good.
seen him. Yes, I hugged him.
Okay, good.
I saw Liberty Phoenix today.
He crashed. He spent. We hung out with him all last weekend.
Oh, it's cool.
We had him first.
Got your sloppy seconds.
That's right.
Oh, thank
He
you.
wouldn't share. He wouldn't share a hotel room bed with me.
Really?
Yeah, man, it was weird.
You know, I was trying to share a hotel bed with you in New York. That wasn't happening. Yeah, when that guy gave us both of them. Remember the first place that we stayed?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
No, because he came by like in the middle of the night. And then he didn't want to like. He was like upset you were in this bed. You tried to set me up for that failure. That's how I remember it.
Oh, all right. Memory's a shaky thing.
But we're in Beaver Creek. You know, Dio. He's large and in charge, and so he got his bed, and like no one wanted.
Oh,
hey man, this guy like rolled.
You commanded the bed.
Yeah, he's like, boom, this is mine. I was like, all right. And so I was like, Phoenix, man, you could like. He's like starting to set up shop on the floor. I'm like it's all right. Like I don't bite. And like he's like, no, I'll just stay on the floor. And I was like, wow. So if you were there though,
that's what you did. You're staying on the floor.
That's because that guy was coming. Like both beds couldn't have been full. There had to be a bed spot for the guy who like had the room. if it
fair enough.
Yeah. If that wasn't the case, then yeah, I would have definitely shared a bed with you.
Thanks, Adema.
No problem. And everyone watching the extras.
Yeah, right. These are some
extras.
Yeah. I think we lost all our listeners.
You'll love knowing how good it is.
Here's ads. This is
For more
safer.
tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's post pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way.
You can't grab it and have to leave here. You cannot bring signs to the route.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, excuse me. Hey, excuse me.
There is no video, audio allowed in this.
No, I have work today. This is wait a minute.
Whoa!
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable! Because you scared me. What am I being paid for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
Yeah.
It's CopBlock Radio, and we're live. It's Wednesday, March 4th, and we are
on the air.
Yeah.
Derek J.
Ademo, in no particular order.
And Nathan is still
going.
with us. He was kind enough to hang through because we want to talk about our friend James Cleveland. I think we were changing tack a little bit, right? We're going for
throwing a curveball in there.
Our friend James, who was recently arrested by the Dinwiddie County Sheriffs. And we'll have more on that story.
It just sounds so...
But Nathan, you're back. You were in the middle of making a point about James. What was your question there?
I'm not sure what I was saying, but James actually did face a situation where he had to decide if obeying a lawful order was something he should do or not. Like they put him in an impossible position where a police officer keeps telling an alleged journalist, which he was at the time, to move back. And if you keep having different police come up to you and tell you to move back, at some point you're going to, fall over the edge of the cliff.
True.
You have to make a decision as to whether you're going to stay or not, or like hold your ground or whatever.
Yeah,
that's
deciding when. Like, what?
You've had this happen to you, right, Derek?
What?
This has happened to you.
Yeah.
Like you've had an interaction with a cop where he's like told you one thing, and then you're like, okay, maybe I'll do that a little bit just to try to get on his nice side, and then you do. He's like, no, do this again, and you're like, I'm not really liking this anymore. And
Not
he's like,
really.
No, do this again.
I don't
really.
I don't think there were any interactions.
What about like
exactly
Short or something when he was like, if you smoke that, I'm going to take you to jail or whatever. Like when you're sitting on the fountain. What was he saying to you there?
He was like, I know what you have in your hand.
That's right. I know what you got in your hand.
And he whispered
and you're
it
like,
to
well,
me
I'm
like
not
he was
crossing
trying to
it.
do me a favor.
Right.
Yeah, but we were on camera, so I was like, do you mind if I smoke?
That's right. That was great.
And he said, you can do what you want.
Well, for me, I have this example, I think, maybe a little more clearly in Greenfield, where they were like, you can film. You can't film. No, you can film. No, you can't film. Yes, you can film if you give us $500 and you can get your friends out. Now get out of here. And you come back with the money and they're like, no, you can't film. And at that point, I was like, I am no longer, no matter what they say.
Dicking around, right?
It's like, I will not turn this camera off. It does not matter. They could be like, we'll like bring your friends out here on silver platters and like carry you home like Roman emperors. And I'd have been like, fuck that.
Yeah, I cannot trust these people.
Right. It's like they're flip flopping. Like now I knew that it wasn't a law, that I knew it wasn't even a policy of the jail, that they were just like subjectively making up shit as they go. And so I was like, I'm not doing anything they say.
Yeah, isn't that weird though? Like when someone in a costume just tells you to do something, and it's not even a legal thing. It's something they made up. It's like they're just so used to getting compliance that they just kind of make up whatever they want on the spot.
Yeah, like the people who listen through the breaks just heard that guy. I was making fun of him from the ad in Victimless Crime Spree.
This shit. I hope he buys this shit.
Yeah. And you can see Officer Short in the background. Is there. He doesn't want to really camera for this arrest because he knows what's happening. He's like, oh no, Kusevich is stepping in it.
Like this guy, man.
If you watch some of this video, maybe it's not Short. Yeah, everyone has their own line, but there are different resist and when not.
Well, I haven't seen this James Cleveland video yet.
The James Cleveland one?
Yeah.
All right. We'll get to this, and then we'll talk about the factors that goes into deciding when you're going to say no to a police officer when he wants you to comply.
Just say no.
But here's some video. Check this out. This is James Cleveland live streaming using Bamboozer as a free service to broadcast to
the
world, and it blasts out to Facebook as well.
It's the moment of truth.
At this point, it seems he's already been taken down to the sheriff's department, but he's somewhat free, not yet arrested, where he's having his vehicle searched. Maybe we should back this up.
Okay.
Sounds good right there.
Well, this is...
So like, as I mentioned, I'd like to film it if possible, so... Okay, thank you.
You're welcome here. Like,
I'll try to keep a distance here.
I'll accommodate them, James, but still.
Okay.
I think he's just trying to look justifiable on video.
Well, I don't do any threats to anyone. Like I told the other officer, I don't appreciate it, but I would not recommend. I don't think it's productive internet and threatening people. It's unfortunate. People, but
all right, James. So he's here. I think he's just narrating in the beginning of this video. You haven't seen this yet, Dio, right? Well, take a listen to what happened when Ian called up the sheriff's
Hello there,
office.
Sergeant Williams. I'm Ian Freeman. I want to let you know I am recording this phone call.
Okay.
Yeah. So were you involved in the taking of the box truck from James Cleveland a few moments ago?
I'm sorry, who is this?
Hi, I'm Ian Freeman calling from freekeen.com with the media. I'm calling regarding the box truck that you guys just confiscated a moment ago.
What box truck?
Oh, so you're not involved in that? I was just told by the lady on the phone that a yellow kind of Penske-looking truck was in that was at that facility that had been confiscated today.
I see. Well, I don't have any comments.
So are you involved in that confiscation?
Once again, I have no comments.
Well, this is the media calling. I have an inquiry. I think you guys, need to be transparent.
Yes, sir, and I'm in the middle of an investigation. You'll have to call back, please.
Are you going to be allowing James Cleveland to video record that
Sir, I'm in the middle of an investigation. Would you please call back? Thank you.
Will you call me back?
I guess not.
So
man.
what do you think about that?
That is hilarious, like in a pathetic way. But go ahead, Hud.
I said definitely.
Oh,
definitely.
yeah. That is,
Well,
I'm not surprised, right?
I was going to say, pardon my ignorance, but is that how police normally deal with that kind of call?
Yes.
Yeah, they put up a
Okay.
wall. They will not answer your questions because whoever's asking questions is in charge, and they know that. So that's why they ask you a bunch of questions, and they never let you get one in.
Yeah, ABC may have been able to get something out of them, but I don't think Ian was going to.
Well, yeah, they always read these canned statements on TV that are like, we have no comment at this time, or else it's like the ones they do that say all official procedures were followed, and it's just what? Who even goes to these press conferences?
That's okay, officer. We have it on tape anyway, and it's going straight to the internet. So,
If you are successful at what you do, whether you're a doctor, a
Rock
lawyer,
on.
a business owner, or you have a great career,
Thank you for calling in, Nathan. Do you want to stay on while we conversate about James Cleveland?
Conversate? Yeah, sure.
Do you guys say that? That was something that we talked about on. Well, I say we. I was just listening to.
I wasn't part of that.
Yeah. No, Ian said conversate.
Did you get the example about the Oxford comma?
What's that?
Well, he gave an example of when you would want to use the comma, and it was the strippers, comma, JFK, and Stalin. Or it was like the strippers, comma, JFK, comma, and Stalin, I think it was. Because otherwise, it looks like you're saying the strippers are JFK and Stalin.
Yes. I see what you're saying. Right, exactly. There is good use for the Oxford comma.
Did somebody say strippers?
Yes.
What?
Informants, agents provocateur, narcs,
All right, here's some ads.
vermin. Rats was written by OG libertarian Claire Wolfe.
Rats is a short book, easy to read, and available free in many formats. Download Rats free at rats-nosnitch.com. That's rats-nosnitch.com.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper, FPP News, at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on Saturday night. From there, I went on to the Free State Project and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amped is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your AMP will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. You can help by joining the AMP program for just $5 a month at amp.freetalklive.com and getting perks. That's amp.freetalklive.com.
Listen to LRN.FM on any phone, anytime. 213-493-0309. That's 213-493-0309.
A clone.
Chum, chum, chum.
All right. Welcome back.
Hello.
James Cleveland was arrested in Dinwiddie, Virginia.
Oh my goodness.
He is a cop blocker. He has been arrested.
Dinwiddie?
Yes.
You didn't make this up?
I'm not joking. Dinwiddie.
Oh man, did like
name.
Deputy Dewey arrest him too?
What do we got on him, Sarge?
How about we look in his truck? I'm so sorry.
Well,
you, James.
That's what happened. And he handled it really well. So first of all, he was recording, which is the first right thing to do.
Bingo.
And he did not consent to any searches when they asked, which is also, well, that's a choice, you know, whether or not you're going to do that. Ian and I sort of talked about that on Free Talk Live. Like, when is it ever the right thing to consent to a search?
Circumstances.
What do you think? Is it ever to your advantage
to
appear
say,
like a normal?
No, I mean, like, unless like you absolutely know. I don't know. Like, I would never consent to a search. I don't think, but I don't like to say never because there might be some circumstance.
I'm trying to think of what circumstance.
I can't think of one on top of my head.
No. That's I made the mistake of just saying yes, and it was not to consent to a search, but maybe to comply a little bit to certain orders. Maybe because if you want to just get
an order,
you know what I mean. Like you said, like give me your license or registration if you want to just.
Oh, okay.
If you're just going out to the store and you just want to get back
I
home.
was like, hey, take off your pants.
No. Yeah, if you take off your pants. First of all, hey man, I'm recording, so you sure you want to go there?
Just tell me what site you're uploading to.
And I'm not consenting. I'm not consenting to any searches. So, you know.
Well, I was thinking of consenting or just playing along, just doing whatever they're telling me to do in other states that are not New Hampshire. Because like I really feel like if I'm far away from my network of people, it's going to be harder to get help. But with James, that really wasn't true. It turned out that there were cop blockers down in Virginia.
Virginia cop blockers are awesome, and Nathan Cox is a strong component of the presence down there, and it's
it
great
was
that
amazing.
they could help out.
It was amazing, yeah. Just to be able to reach out to a network of people who were already there, close by, who could respond. This one guy, James Higgins, I already asked him if it's okay to use his name. Volunteered to go down and drop off the bail money to
the ransom holders.
The ransom holders, right? To get James out of the cage.
He gave the gang the money to let a friend come back to us.
Right. That was wired down. Ian Freeman and I figured out how to do that from a Walmart to a Walmart. So that's pretty nice and easy. Or well, I guess it's whatever, one of those services that you transfer through. But it's like
a Western Union or something?
Yeah, all of this stuff was handled within hours because there was a team of people within, like, you know what it's like when you're calling up these sheriff's offices, like you heard when Ian called, like you get no answers, you get shut down. You're like, where do I give you money to like get my friend out of jail? Like this, they make that even a multi-step process where you got to figure out where to go. You're not going to the same place as where the jail is.
We were in the car and Liberty Phoenix is in the back seat on the way back from Beaver Creek, and he's like, James Cleveland just got his truck taken. I'm like, okay, get a note to Virginia CopBlock, get a note to North Virginia CopBlock, just get them all on it, and get them start talking about it and everything. And next thing you know,
well, it was within hours. So I think the first day James decided to stay the night over in jail, and I know that couldn't have been easy because he hadn't eaten, and he said it was real tough. But
afterwards, is it like they didn't feed him while he was in jail? He hadn't eaten.
No,
up
he hadn't eaten up to. Yeah, he was like on a low stomach at the time he was arrested already. So yeah, and then he was put in the cage too. So it's not much you can do.
Yeah, I went almost 2 days without eating when I got arrested in Las Vegas because of that same problem.
And he said he knows how we feel when we talk about the jail being really cold. Like he's like, he knows what we mean now.
Oh, they had one of those, huh?
Yeah.
Back home,
I hate those.
Back home, when they used to put in the lock up there, they'd put in, you'd end up going in, it was too late to get any dinner, and then they let you out before breakfast. So
right,
you were kind of on your own for all that time.
Well, he said there were eggs, and he's on a low carb thing, and he thought they were like powder something, so he like only ate 3 bites of eggs.
Oh, I thought he was gonna ask for a low carb diet. I was gonna, what did they say? I was like,
no way.
Low carb? What do you mean low carb?
Yeah, they're gonna be like, you get out of here. Not really though. Just mean get out of my face.
Just give him some rabbit food. Hopefully he'll be all right.
Yeah. No way.
No. Next. Next.
So he said that when he had the initial bail condition, it was that he wasn't allowed to leave Virginia.
They're like, you will stay.
Yeah, it was
you guys realize I'm from New Hampshire, right?
Yeah, he was like, I was just traveling through Dinwiddie. Really,
I don't know why I was traveling through Dinwiddie.
And
I can assure you I'll never travel through Dinwiddie again.
So he talked to the magistrate, and the prosecutor's like, sir, can we delay this trial a month? So instead of April, it's in May. And then James was like, oh, yeah. And can you make the condition that I can leave Virginia because
I don't
go
home.
Yeah, it's like, and I have a business in New Hampshire. Yeah, so
like no.
Yeah, no. They gave it. It was like a tit for tat, a little bit of conceit there, and fortunately, he was able to negotiate with the judge.
What's like the max here?
Or the magistrate. The max on his charge at the moment is a Class 2 misdemeanor. Which is to $1,000 fine and half a year in jail, so 6 months. So I don't know what good time looks like there, but he says that he's getting a lawyer, so he probably won't do much speaking about it up to the point of the trial. But I look forward to, these are the facts that we know. These are all public, and
the rest will come out.
Yeah, I can't wait,
Hopefully.
because this is such a great story of a person like Nathan brought up, deciding no. So we were talking about our line in the sand and what sort of things go into that decision. And for me, it's not being in the Shire. It's like, I feel scared, because I don't have a Port 411 or something, which is like a New Hampshire-based 911 service that's all volunteer through, peaceful friends and neighbors. It's an alternative to calling 911 in an emergency, and works pretty well because you have a better idea of who to expect. Not murderous thugs, but your friends.
Something similar in the works in Ohio, possibly. So.
Yeah, it could work anywhere. I mean, it's not a New Hampshire-centric
No. There's
idea.
this dust that comes from the mountains here that only allows Liberty to work in the Granite State.
No, that's not the case. But it just so happens. I don't know any other.
If we tell our
networks
kids
like
that from a very young age, they will grow up to believe it, and they will never leave New Hampshire.
Well, I think it was courageous what James did.
Definitely.
And I think it could be his saving grace, the fact that he was able to video record the entire time. We were just showing video of their search that was beginning, and we've got more on that as they remove some bags from.
Has he got stuff in here, like in the way back?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Fast forward a little bit, we'll find out.
I was wondering.
No, well, apparently, so
if
first of all,
possible, I'd like a copy of the warrant.
Good. Yeah, that's a good point.
They should have probably gave it to him before they started the search.
Yeah, they probably should have.
Oh, cops, you're awesome.
Well, so allegedly, he was pulled over for an invalid registration. Like, oh no, your car is not registered with one of our organizations. So
we can't track your every move. So
yeah, that's
we
got to
need
be
to
off.
rectify that first.
No, it's you didn't pay the tax.
Right. It's about the money.
I'm not sure. I'm not an expert. I'm supposed to be served with the warrant, right?
I'm no expert.
Oh, James, but you're more of an expert than these law enforcers.
Okay. I guess I'm making it known I'd like a copy of the warrant, if possible.
All right, more from James when we come back. This is CopBlock Radio.
Okay.
Hey Nathan, I just realized I had you muted. Sorry about that. Was there anything that you were saying during the last break? that you wanted to get in?
Oh, yeah, I tried to jump in a couple times, but
I was like, where'd Nathan go? Why isn't he jumping in? We're
I
having
thought
him
you were
on.
also involved in the conversation.
How rude of me. I had you muted. It was an accident.
Makes for good radio, right?
Sorry about that.
Okay, thank you.
That's cool.
What were you trying to say?
I think I was going to ask about, I was going to make a point that this is what could potentially happen if you do refuse to comply. And, the prospect of having your vehicle essentially impounded and being made homeless on the streets of Virginia that's not a very good prospect, is it?
No.
But it wasn't that
I thought
bad.
it was pretty crazy. No, but they didn't leave him on the streets. It sounded like that originally, but apparently
He was gentle.
they drove him to the sheriff's department with them.
Okay. That would have been probably the worst case. They just left him by the side of the road.
Could you imagine? Here, now you're in Dinwiddie, Virginia. Goodbye. We have your truck.
Is this where the Blair Witch is?
Yeah, right.
It's like the plot of Better Call Saul or something.
Horror movies begin this way.
Oh, so graceful. These men. I don't know if you can see what we're seeing, Nathan, but there's a police officer searching James's truck. He's all like climbing up in it.
I wasn't able to look at the video. Is it a big packed truck full of junk?
No. From what I see, the cop is mostly
He's up in the cab.
up in the cab.
Oh, take it off, deal. Yeah. Oh.
I'm not bad. I'm just
That's
wrong
so
that
bad.
way.
Gotta get some more.
I must have one.
Okay, so this is what I was looking at. So he takes out like a baggie here. I don't know if he bagged it himself or what. Because like I know they bag evidence, you know, like oh I gotta send this stuff to the lab, but like
a lab in
what's he-
Dimwitty.
Yeah. It's yeah.
You gotta send that shit out. That's gotta go somewhere other than Dimwitty to be tested.
So just to be clear, the pills weren't his, right? They were just in some box or something.
Correct. They are not his.
You know, Anna Nicole Smith died of an overdose involving that drug.
Interesting. I know I had a friend who was addicted to that drug. Pretty badly back in New Jersey. It was sick.
What happens to these people, these actresses? They're like taking 4 or 5 different sedatives. Like, dear God, like that must be the insomnia from hell.
Yeah. Well, we're coming back.
With other LRN listeners on our message board, forum.lrn.fm. That's forum.lrn.
Welcome back. It's CopBlock Radio. And we're talking about James Cleveland, cop blocker, entrepreneur, and mover to New Hampshire as a person seeking more freedom. Was arrested and rescued by cop blockers.
Cop blocking.
Who mobilized to get him a bail. And I was just saying about his bail conditions were previously that he wasn't allowed to leave Virginia. That was the original bail condition. And then when he saw the magistrate the next day, that's when it was able to be changed. And those bail terms were agreeable enough to him.
Like you can go home. Oh, thank you, master.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, he wanted to stay because he was waiting for a ride. He said he was waiting for a ride, but the jail was like, no, now you have to leave. And he was like, it's...
But I kind of like it here.
You know, not that he wants to stay,
All
but
right.
like, I don't think he had a jacket or something. So it was 55 degrees, which is not totally unbearable.
Kidding me?
What?
On 55 degrees, not totally unbearable. Like it's been like 10 degrees where we've been.
That's summer for me, man.
Yeah.
55 degrees, I'd be running around in one of those Speedos, those new ones with like just this strap.
Well, anyway, he wanted to be a little more comfortable, and I think it was a little more comfortable in the jail. You know, who knows? It could have been raining or something while he was waiting for his ride, but they were like, no, get out. You know? Like, did you ever wonder, like, there was an activist in New Hampshire who did that once, Lawrence Canario, right?
Or
I
Sam
guess
Dobson.
there have been a few. Yeah, well, there have been a few.
After 53 days, just get out. Like they didn't even let him. They didn't even change him over. He was in an orange jumpsuit, and they kicked him out the door.
Right, because how silly would they look actually charging someone with the crime of trespassing in the jail, like, and then reprocessing them? I mean, how does that happen?
Wait, they didn't give him his own clothes back? They kicked him
No,
out
they
of the-
did. They gave him a tub of all this stuff, and then
and keep the jumpsuit as a door prize.
Yeah,
or
they're
something?
like, just get out of
He
here.
actually did a show.
Oil or something?
Yeah, keep talking. I'm gonna
Yeah.
find this. He actually did a show on
So
local
for those-
Teen TV.
So for those who don't know,
Please, go
Sam
ahead.
Dotson is one of he's a really talented videographer and cameraman. He had great ideas for shows. They did the crap campaign and some other things. So he one time did 53 or 58 days in jail for filming in the courthouse here, and they just locked him up with no charges, and then just one day kicked him out. And here he is.
TV, where we challenge you, the viewer, to think
You
outside
keep the
the box.
bruises.
With you, as
Right.
always, is Toby and Nick. And out of jail, freshly out of jail. So in an orange jumpsuit, we've got Sam Dodson, who was previously jailed, well, for initially videotaping in a public lobby here in Keene, in the Keene District Court, and then, well, he'd been jailed without a trial.
Yep.
But they finally let you out. Can we just, real quick, this is breaking news. We're going to have a full edition on the show, but you've got a lot of places to get to. You just got out of jail.
Yeah, so they came in this morning, told me to grab my things, and brought me into holding. And the bail commissioner was on his way in, apparently. And they're like, "You're being released. We're going to change you into your clothes."
like Joe
I need
Deal.
to see the terms of the bail, of the PR bail. And they had the same thing that they've offered the last 3 times. Well, they've added, I can't possess firearms now, apparently. And so the bail commissioner gets there, and I tell him I can't agree to these, and the judge hasn't made a determination, and this is not a lawful order, and my attorney's on his way. I don't understand this, and I'm not signing anything until my attorney's here. And he said, "I don't care about your counsel." He got ticked off that he had come out there, wanted his $40, and they sent me back in the cell. Then they pulled me back out after a couple minutes, and he left. And then the jailers are like, "All right, time for you to go. Let's go." They started dragging me out.
Who did you out of jail?
They didn't change out of the jail clothes because they knew I was.
Something to do the TV rounds. People who are new to this, because this is first discovering what's going on around. Very familiar with the case, but can you sum up in a minute or so what this is all about? Why were you behind bars? Why were they withholding?
Yeah, why was he behind
What's
bars?
going on here?
This is all about freedom of the press. I mean, I was in the lobby
Same as
of
James
the
before,
courthouse,
with
which is
recording.
public property. I'm a journalist. I was there with a camera filming. The judge, I think, was embarrassed on a previous incident where people were taping inside the courtroom and created this overreaching order, which I was there to show that, no, I have a right to exercise freedom of the press. And when they arrested me for it, I decided I'm not willing to participate and cooperate with them. And because of that, they have rights under this system unless you can jump through all the little hoops that they put up for you. Out of control.
Isn't that sick?
Wow.
That's like 2009.
Let's check the date on that. 2009, journalist Sam Dodson, who was arrested nearly 2 months ago for filming inside the Keene District Court lobby, was released from jail today and is in the studio for his first post-jail interview. And then Dave Ridley was arrested in the courthouse lobby as well. And then I was a third arrest in the courthouse lobby. It was the same one that where Dusevich arrested me. But I wasn't really aware of the previous two. So it was sort of like going in blind.
Right.
You were also arrested in the lobby of the court.
Yeah, I was arrested in that court twice.
That same day. Well, yeah, wait.
Yeah, just
twice.
before you.
Yeah.
You came up to check on me to see what happened to me, and then you got arrested.
In the stairwell.
Yeah, in the stairwell.
And then I got arrested another time when I told Burke off, and he gave me 60 days in jail for contempt of court.
Right.
So,
is that on video
that
as well?
Oh, yeah. I told him that his court was a joke and he kissed my fucking ass and they're all a bunch of jerks or something. They're like, I forget the exact quote, but he had Pete in jail for wearing a hat
in court.
Yeah. And so like, I was not happy about that.
You know that was what actually inspired me to get involved in CopBlock, because when I saw that, and I had to go to court like very soon at that time, right? And for some traffic ticket or some bullshit, I can't remember. But my immediate instinct is, as soon as I walked in, I wear a hat, and I walked into that courtroom with that hat on, and I made sure I got there early so I'd be in the courtroom so we could have this discussion before court even started. And sure as shit, bailiff come up to me and tell me I got to remove my hat. I'm like, court didn't even start yet, so back the fuck up off me. Okay. And then he called the judge in, and then the judge made me stand up there in front of the court, explain myself to her. And I was like, look, court didn't even start yet. When you're up on that bench, maybe I'll give you some respect. But when I'm sitting in the audience waiting for you, sorry, I'm keeping my hat on until you walk in that room.
Did that work?
Basically, yeah. The judge was like, well, I can make you take it off, or I can make you do whatever I want. I'm like, okay, go ahead and try, I mean, like I said, she was on the bench at the time, so I did take it off at that time. So, she was acknowledging the respect, and she wanted to explain to me, where she was coming from and whatnot. And I was like, I don't care where you're coming from. This is bullshit.
It's at like the 3.5 minute mark or something.
I do it every time I go to court now. Every time I go to court, I walk in there with the hat just to.
Sorry, what state is that, Dio?
Ohio.
Okay.
In the background, you're hearing Judge Burke and the arraignment of Pete Eyre.
Yeah, Pete's not giving his name, so he's a John Doe. And they won't let him go until he gives him his name. He's thinking about it.
No. No. The only question is, are you going to identify yourself and provide and get processed in a normal fashion?
And I go off.
Number one. Number two, are you going to apply for counsel to be appointed to represent you? And that's pretty much all we're going to do after we set the bail conditions. It's up to you. You can stay there if you want, or you can get out.
Fucking joke, man. You can kiss my fucking ass.
All right.
You're a piece of shit.
Hold him. He's under arrest.
You can watch a video, man. Let him out of there.
Get him out of
You're a fucking loser. You're a joke, man. You're a joke. You need to watch a YouTube video or something.
Hold him, put him back in.
You're ridiculous.
Excuse me? Put him in the other room.
I'm sick of you guys, all of you.
So
just watch a video, man. But your man assaulted him. Assaulted him.
So Pete is on a video screen. Can he see you at all?
I was gonna say that. It's funny that you bring that up because he said that we've talked about this in the past, and he's like, "Well, when I could see you flip it out, I was just trying to like not make it worse for you by like bringing attention to it or anything. So I was just gonna try to keep talking." And he's like, "But I was like, oh man, he's on his way over here." But yeah, so it's pretty funny.
Oh man. Well,
he let me out after 16 days. He sentenced me to 60, but he let me go home after 16.
Like I said, to me, that is so inspirational.
He was a shitbag. I was mad. He's keeping jail.
You got justice in your own. This has been Cop Block Radio. We'll be back again next Wednesday.
We're taking Derek to Cleveland.
Woo!
Road trip.
What if the key to achieving liberty in your lifetime was to move together with others who